Hey, what's up everybody? We're in quarantine. We really have nothing else to do, so we're gonna give you 5 movies we think you should be watching during quarantine. This is in no particular order, by the way, and most of these movies are a combination of movies that I think make great rewatchables, are underrated, or just should be revisited. So number 5 for me is a movie that came out in the late 2000s. It is called Zodiac. Some of you may know it. I feel like a lot of people haven't seen this movie. It was directed by David Fincher, has an incredible cast. It's about the Zodiac killer in the 60s and 70s. It's thrilling, it's compelling, it's 3 hours long, so settle in, but what else are we gonna do? And it's a great movie.
My first movie is for all the romantics out there. Of course, naturally, I'm going to recommend a romance movie. It is the 1970 love story with Ryan O'Neal and Ali MacGraw. It is not a Nicholas Sparks film. However, I do think it set the precedent for it. And if you need an excuse to cry, put it on and everybody will understand why.
Next movie I'm going to talk about, number 4, is a movie called Bad Times at the El Royale. This is a movie that I feel like everybody missed out on. Let me also say this movie is very dark, but it has an incredible cast. It has John Hamm, Jeff Bridges. It's very Tarantino-esque. It's about all these people coming together at a hotel, and they all have different backstories, and there's a reason that they're there, and it starts unfolding as the movie progresses. And it's a great murder mystery movie again, and it's disturbing, but it's fantastic. Bad Times at the El Royale.
My next two follow love story very well. They are 2 Nicholas Sparks movies. The Choice and The Longest Ride, they totally went under the radar. There were so many other Nicholas Sparks movies, like the ones with like The Vow, and then the one with Dear John. But those two, The Choice and The Longest Ride, are so much better than the others in between A Watch to Remember and The Notebook, because there was a dead season there for him. The 2 male leads, Ben Walker and Scott Eastwood, are so charming. You're going to get butterflies. And you're gonna wonder why these two flew under the radar.
Number 3, the third.
Oh, I just want to say that I bundled those two together because they are so similar. They're the exact same genre by the same writer.
Fair enough. Number 3 is a movie called Lucky Number 11. This came out in the 2000s. It stars Josh Hartnett, Morgan Freeman, Bruce Willis, has an incredible cast. It's a movie that takes a little while to get going. I'd say the first 20 to 25 minutes, I was unsure about how I felt. But then thereon after, it is just a really well-made movie. It's a puzzle that keeps unfolding as the movie progresses with a great twist at the end. And I really can't recommend this movie enough. And again, it's a movie.
You never showed me.
I know, we should really watch it. It's a movie that just, I felt like people did not go to see, and everybody's kind of forgotten about.
No, I feel like I've heard about it plenty.
Well, that's why I feel like it's turned into a little bit of a cult classic,
okay.
But I feel like not enough people have seen it.
Okay, my next movie is Spanglish. I watched Spanglish. You like the pattern with both of our movies? It's so funny.
I know.
Yours are so much
Says a lot
darker.
about us.
I hadn't watched it for like at least 12 years, and I did last week, and it is so real. Like, you feel like you are following the lives of a family that you know in real life. Actually, it could be your own family. It's about culture, family, love, mother-daughter relationships, marriages. It's awesome. Adam Sandler in a drama is my favorite. It's a lighthearted drama, and like there's laughs in it.
I always like seeing comedians take on serious roles.
But I think he's one of the best at doing it.
I would say a lot of comedians are great on it.
I guess Robin Williams,
Jim Carrey,
Yeah.
Adam Sandler.
Yeah.
I think comedians can be very dark, which makes them great actors.
But you know what I love about Adam Sandler is I don't think that he is an inherently dark comedian. Like, I feel like he's a happy man.
That's true.
Yeah. That's why I like to hang out with him. He seems like a nice daddy.
Yeah, he just seems like a nice guy.
Yeah.
I'd be weird if I called him daddy. Number 2 on my list is a movie called L.A. Confidential. This is a movie that came out in 97. It's a cop/Hollywood film. It was nominated for Best Picture, and if it wasn't for a small film known as Titanic, it probably would have won Best Picture that year. It has Russell Crowe in it, has Guy Pearce in it, has Kim Basinger, and again, it's about a murder that takes place in Hollywood that these cops have to solve. So obviously there's a theme in my movies, but it's so good. And I feel like it was big when it came out, and it came out 23 years ago. So for me, it's one of those movies that I feel like a lot of people haven't seen, or if they have seen it, haven't seen it in years and should revisit it because it's such a good movie, LA Confidential.
So Gone Girl. I mean, I'm sure you've seen Gone Girl. For some reason, it's one of the most rewatchable movies. Whenever I see it on TV, I have to click it. It doesn't get old. I love Ben Affleck. I love how crazy, because I love Ben Affleck in this role because
we're big Ben Affleck people.
It just kind of like feels like this is Ben in a shitty relationship. But the thing is, throughout the entire thing, he's real and authentic to himself.
Yeah, and he gives such a great performance.
So good. And I mean, I'm sure most of you have seen it, but if you haven't seen it, definitely watch it now.
Oh, it's fantastic. A few honorable mentions before we get to our number one films. For me, A Few Good Men, because it might be the most rewatchable movie of all time. I think I've seen it over 200 times and still do not get tired of it. It's just so well written and well acted and well directed. Gangster Squad, because I think it's a movie that everybody should revisit. Again, it didn't get good reviews when it came out. It stars Ryan Gosling, Sean Penn. I think when the movie first came out, everybody thought it was going to be like this dark, gritty gangster movie, and it's not that, but I still love it so much. Have you seen it?
No.
We should really watch it. Another movie, Lars and the Real Girl, movie that came out right around the time Ryan Gosling started really becoming Ryan Gosling. And he's so good in it. He plays a character who falls in love with a doll.
I saw it in theaters.
So good.
Because, Ryan Gosling face.
But it was like right before.
It was right after. No, it was like one of his movies after The Notebook. So we went to see it.
And then my last one's Searching, because it's so good.
Searching is so good. If you want to be glued to your screen and never think about your phone for an hour and a half, Searching.
Searching is a movie that takes place all in the POV of a computer, tablet, iPhone screen, and it's
the
so
storyline's amazing.
Great story, great acting,
twists,
great directing,
so
great editing.
The one that we both agree is like the most underrated movie that will compel you these days is definitely Searching.
Check it out. Your honorable mentions.
My honorable mentions.
Just go through them quickly.
Last one.
Yeah.
Okay, so these are all my favorite movies of all time, and I needed to, of course, mention them. Titanic, number one, and Forever and Always. A Walk to Remember, A Star is Born, of course, the most recent one. The Greatest Showman, The Wedding Planner, Pretty Woman, The Departed, Jerry Maguire, Catch Me If You Can, The Social Network, Ghost, Sex and the City, the movie, When Harry Met Sally, and The Holiday.
All right, so what's your number one movie that everybody should be watching right now?
Oh, my number one movie, not of all time, which would be Titanic, but,
that you should watch during quarantine right now.
Quarantine. The Firm. So this is Tom Cruise in total Tom Cruise mode. Early Tom Cruise where he's like a lawyer, hotshot. But this is a movie that kind of went under the radar. Similar in that like attorney, that law movie. It's like A Few Good Men. It's his law movie, right? Well, this is like came out a year before or a year after it. Kind of overshadowed, but still Tom Cruise at his best. And no matter what you think about Tom Cruise in his personal life, he's so fun to watch on screen.
Yeah, he's an incredible actor. It's more a drama about the law firm rather than an actual court case. And then my number one film, you said it in your honorable mentions, just because it's my favorite movie of all time. And I think it's really time to revisit this movie because not enough people have seen it over the past few years. And that is The Social Network. It is my favorite movie of all time. Came out in 2010.
It was on my list as well.
It's directed by David Fincher. It's written by Aaron Sorkin. And I never knew there could be a better combination between a writer and director. The acting, the directing, the story is so compelling. Everything about this movie, I think, is just filmmaking at a level that you don't see very often. I feel like a lot of people probably have seen The Social Network, but haven't seen it in a very long time. And for me, I think it's a movie that only gets better every time I watch it. So I really think people should sit down and spend the 2.5 hours watching The Social Network and being reminded of how great that movie truly is.
I saw it 4 times in the movie theater. I was going through an Andrew Garfield phase, but...
And plus, guess what, guys? It's on Netflix, which means you can watch it for free right now. So those are our top 5 movies that you should be watching in quarantine, and we named like 30 other ones too. So hopefully you guys are staying safe, staying healthy, and we'll see you.
Enjoy! Bye!